And start the stream up officially. How we doing? All right, let's go to this screen here. So, as we can see from the screen when it comes up, there it is. I have 3 things left to test. So, I'm going to do another game of Omen, probably another game or two of Ghost Rider, and High Evolutionary. So, if you saw Havoc stream, I played Ghost Rider on one of his streams. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I did forget to do some things, but such is the nature of things. Learning a new character, so there's always going to be some growing pains with that. I've actually played Omen twice now. I played it on one of Havoc's streams about a week ago, and then I played it on my own stream a few days ago, whenever the last time I streamed was. And I played that alongside. I did like a double stream, so I had Omen, I had the Mask, I had Yondu, I had one of my creations, and I played Lady Deathstrike in both games. And I made separate recordings for them, and I was going to post them all up and all that stuff. Well, I took a couple days off from streaming, and I accidentally deleted my videos. Not just deleted them, like cleared them out of uh, my recycling bin because I was doing a purge and some things in my computer to make room for some updates for games that I had, and I just accidentally deleted them. So they're still on Twitch. I'm not going to bother re-downloading them at all because I don't want to go through that whole thing of downloading them off of Twitch and then trying to edit them into different videos. It's either that or put up, I think, a 5.5 hour long VOD because I think I played those games and I played Marvel Rivals on stream for about 3 hours. I'm not in the mood to go through all that. So, fortunately, the Mask and Yondu were characters that I already kind of came to conclusions of at that point. I know that one of the things I wanted to do with Yondu was make sure I played his twirling and rolling correctly, which I did. I still think it's a good card. I still think it's less valuable than some of the other options that he has. I think that was like the only thing that kind of changed at all in any sort of opinion. The mask, they made changes to his kit, and honestly, kind of didn't. It really didn't change the way how he played much. The only thing I noticed was that his one attack card. Let me look at it real quick. Um, so with the big base on it. Yeah, the heavy head blow. It still feels a bit strong, but again, like I said it in the video or during the stream, it's always weird to balance a character that should be played pool. I did appreciate the fact that Smooth and Manny fixed the images on the cards. That was appreciated. I think that was needed. What was I gonna say? I might play one more game of Lady Deathstrike. I'm not sure. I haven't done any reviews on any of these 3 yet, so nothing's finalized with any of them on how I feel. I might do another game with Lady Deathstrike. I've played her something like 5 or 6 times already. Um, Twice on my own stream during this cycle. I think once on Havoc's stream during this cycle, and I've played her. This is like Havoc's favorite mod or encounter set. So a lot of times when I play with him, I wind up getting a fistful of claws on my face. So I've seen her a lot. I don't think I need to play her again. I might play her just to have something on my end for showing my gameplay and feedback on her. Um, we'll get to that when we get to it. I think I still have plenty of time left in this cycle. So, anyways, as you can see, these are the 3 that I have left to kind of just get to a point of reviewing them. And judging by the fact that this is an empty bag, I am obviously playing High Evolutionary today by JustATuna. Um, I've read through this kit. It looks like it's going to be something I'm going to have to keep track of a lot of shit with. So if I mess up, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to, even though it's like this is like an early stream start time for me at least. I'm probably going to do one game tonight so that if I have fucked up something fundamental to this, Tuna is usually pretty good at responding to videos and offering feedback, like things I could have done to improve, things that he noticed that might have been messed up on his end, things like that. So hopefully, the day or whatever that I take off from not playing High Evolutionary after tonight, I'll get enough feedback to make sure that the second time through I play it properly if I did make any mistakes. I've got all the setup done that I noticed. Let me make sure. So one modular encounter order of entropy, which is in there, along with the obligations for Riri and Gamora. Anything else? Anything else? I got the counter on them, or counter on the main scheme already. Order of entropy is in play. It's got its 5 threats. I know that if it gets 10, Luminous is going to come into play. I did think about playing Scarlet Witch. However, I am of the boat that when you playtest, at least for the first time when you playtest an encounter, you should always use official content. And ever since I made my own Scarlet Witch, I do not want to play the base game Scarlet Witch anymore. I like the base game Scarlet Witch, don't get me wrong, but I enjoy mine on a completely different level. And because I want to play with official content against it, I'm not going to be using Scarlet Witch. Again, if you don't know the lore of Marvel, Havoc and I had a discussion about this the other day. They changed Scarlet Witch from being a mutant to being a mutate, which is somebody who is given powers. They do not have an X gene. They are given powers. Like the Incredible Hulk is a mutate, Captain America is a mutate, um, Ant-Man, the Wasp, they're mutates. They weren't born with those powers. They got them through external factors, and now they have powers. So, as part of Wanda's kind of like retooling of her backstory, she was given powers by the High Evolutionary. And her technical sister is Luminous. So I thought about that's the reason why I thought about playing Wanda. Instead, I'm going to go to two of my favorites, which are Gamora and Riri. We usually don't see Gamora too much on this stream because usually when it comes to aggression characters, I like to spread out a little bit more. But I decided to just grab Gamora. Anything else? I guess I should talk about what I noticed about High Evolutionary's kit off the rip. So a lot of what he's going to be doing is his minions will get stacked the hell up with attachments if I'm not careful. But they also, a lot of his cards interact with their boost icons in weird ways. So off the rip, he's got an interaction on his card where enemies get additional hit points based off the icons in their boost field or boost area. I want to make something very clear. I was going to come into this and kind of rip into this a little bit because the rule book refers to the area at the bottom right of cards. So let's actually take something like this right here. Oh my god, it's sideways. This right here, the rule book refers to this as the boost field, right? It is physically the boost field. Even Gambit, the ally Gambit, refers to it as the boost field. Every other card in the game calls it a boost area. And I forgot about that because I don't play a lot of content that interacts with boost areas or boost fields. So I was about to come in and be like, you called it boost area throughout the entirety of your kit. That's not the actual word. It is. Because FFG doesn't fucking know the rules of the cards they make, apparently. So that ripping doesn't have to happen. Anyways, so the thing that I'm going to have to make sure to keep track of is these boost area, boost fields. Cards that have one or fewer printed in their boost area get one on each of these. I'm gonna have to keep track of that throughout the whole thing. That's only in their printed area because I know a lot of his cards give additional boost icons into them, but those are not technically printed areas. Those are additional. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to keep track of a lot of bullshit. I'm probably gonna fuck up. I actually, you know what? I guarantee I'm gonna fuck up. I'm doing this solo like I normally do. I don't have anybody watching over me to make sure I'm doing something right or wrong. So I expect mistakes. But hey, we don't call them mistakes. We call them happy accidents. Isn't that right, Bob Ross? Uh, I got my opening hands. I got my opening hands. We're giving Ironheart first player. Ironheart is immediately just not ready to thwart, apparently. She's a justice character with no justice. I have one way or another. Well, guess what? One way or another doesn't do. Remove threat. This is an excellent card. Not first. I think I might just mulligan these two so I can get team building exercise in. Ingenuity. I was going to play team building exercise. Team building exercise, go fuck itself. What about over here on Gamora? I played 2 games with Havoc earlier today that he streamed. They'll be up on his channel. And when I play on his table, I like to match his layout of his table. So he plays with his deck up here and his discard pile here. And that is not what I like to do. But because I want to keep it uniform with what he's doing, I do it anyways. And now I'm going to have to get used to my deck speed down here. I played like 3 hours of gameplay with him earlier. Him and Neptune and Corey from our community. Corey's a relatively new creator. I think he might only have Green Lantern right now. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. And Neptune has been making content for a while off and on. He was playtesting his Sentry alongside with one of our 2 games was against his Mephisto Roboto. Anything in my hands over here? So I think an acrobatic move, that's not bad. Got a keen instinct, that's always good. Got a martial prowess. So I have good cards in my hand. It's just I don't think I need to mulligan any of this actually. Yeah, I don't think I need to mulligan any of this. I should be fine. Alright, we're gonna start with Ironheart, who might need to stay down. Stay down, fool. This, and this to get this. Do I spend fly over to get one of my counters now? I got two additional hit points. I think I do. I think I get one of my counters now. That's going to be a very quick and simple turn. Over to Gamora, who I haven't played in such a long time. This is goddamn. Actually, look at the top card of my deck. If it is an attacker thwart, it is a thwart added to my hand. I'm going to flip. I'm going to get. It was set the pace is good. I want to get Keen Instincts out though. This is wild for attack and thwart, right? Yep. So let's acrobatic move to deal 2 damage to an enemy. That removes 1 threat from a scheme, so remove it off of main. And then we're going to Keen Instinct and clear the area to forward momentum. So remove 5 threat because I already did an attack. So just going to remove it off of this. And that will deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we'll do it there. I will then remove 2 off of main. I probably could have put Martial Prowess in, but I didn't need it at the time. So that might be good. It might be good. I might be good. Yeah, that's going to be my turn. It's 3 here to Gamora. I got 5 coming over here. Jesus Christ, this hand! This hand! Yes! Yes, this hand! Oh my goodness, I got Ronnie. I got both my Stroke of Geniuses, which sucks to get them both at the same time, but at least I want to progress like immediately as long as I don't discard. All right, so this goes up by 2 per player. So I don't have to worry about any of the text in this really until this is completed. After cards are discarded from the encounter deck or search keyword is resolved, place 1 threat here. Then if there's 10, we get Luminous. So he schemes against Riri. This has 1, so this is 2 icons because there's 1 progress counter. So the schemes for 2. He attacks Gamora. She will take it. So this is for 1 damage. Do I want to stop that damage with a cross counter? Mm. No, I'll just take the 1 damage. I mean, I could use this on it, but I kind of also need to make sure I can get martial prowess out. I do want a concussive blow if at all possible. Yeah, I kind of want to hold on that. All right. And actually, that was an additional damage because it has an additional icon on it. All right, attached to the minion, this gains surge. So this surges, which means that that gets 1 on it. This gains surge, so it gets 1 on it. All right, guard, villainous. This minion gets 3 icons on it, so its health is 3. Right. So minions get +1 hit point for each icon in the boost area. So I'm assuming this is referring to it as having 3 in its boost area. It should probably say it gets 3 in its boost area. Nothing else to worry about this guy though. Attached to high evolutionary backlash. What does this do? When he would be stunned or confused, discard this, give that active player that status instead. So I would actually still allow them to finish their attack because they would have to have attacked in order to get that status card. All right. Yeah, simple. I don't think either of these 2 characters are going to actually be fucking giving out status cards. Oh, actually, yeah. What am I talking about? She's got concussive blow. Um, well, I don't like that. Actually, I'm not a big fan of that now. Let's spend 2. Actually, god damn. Conditioning room is great, but with this. So if I confuse him right now, my god, this is rough. Do I actually want to confuse him? Or I could just destroy the evolutionary. But at the cost of cross counter, which is such an amazing card. Shit. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. I hate that I have to do that, but I'm going to concussive blow on this guy. It confuses him. I paid for it with a fist, which means he takes 3 damage and he's defeated. I will. That is an attack, so remove 1 threat from his scheme. We'll remove it off of main. I will then attack the villain for 2. It's only after events. Yep. That will end Gamora's turn. Over to Riri. Okay, Riri. Riri is she's got stuff going on. She's going to spend 1 to get Ronnie. Ronnie will place a counter. I'm going to use 2 strokes of geniuses to get propulsion jets. Each of these gives me 1, draws me a card each, and then I get propulsion jets, which give me 2 more hit points. I will then spend clear the area for 6. I then actually need to flip up. So I'm going to flip up. I'm going to, because she readies when I change her form. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, ready her. Yeah. So we're going to attack for 2. I will then spend all 6 to go to version 2. Ready her, give her a tough status. Oh wait, actually it's listed here. Just right here. That's where the tough status is when I go to phase 3. I was about to say something didn't feel right with that. So she readies into state 2, which means that these are now useful. I will then remove 2 off of this. I will hit him for 2. It's actually not an attack. I'll remove 2 threat. Do I do it off of main, or do I do it off of order of entropy? And keep this. She's a long way away from being a problem. Let's take it off of main. Ah, man, I kind of wish I was still face down, just so I can keep getting progress counters. This is the only card in her deck I do not like. I do want to get Brawn out, but I'm not going to have the hand for it. I don't think, unless I draw a resource. So I'm going to discard this end turn, keep these other cards. 2, 3. Assess. Oh my goodness, Brawn, baby, you're entering play, probably. All right, over here, 5 cards. All right, 1, 2, nothing happens with these. Attacks Gamora, who I foolishly got rid of my card with. Gamora will take it. So 1, 4. Fuck off, Luminous. Attacks Ironheart. Do I actually want to defend with Ironheart? I'm going to be able to remove threats. Let's defend. So this hits for 2, so I take no damage. And attach this card to a minion. There's no minion, it whiffs. It does not get the remainder of its text from that because it is not revealing. It is just attaching to a minion. Villain attacks. Well, now I have to fucking defend. So 2 damage, so none. Resolve the when revealed. So you're only doing the when revealed, so this doesn't come in. Deal the topmost tech attachment in the encounter card discard pile to yourself as a face down encounter card. So I get this, which means I need to resolve it now. This will surge, which means we get this. Blend schemes for 2. 2. Bend Chaos. Find Luminous and reveal her. She activates. That's kind of dickish. I just got rid of her. Search Luminous. She is chaotic. She activates. Is there any situation why she wouldn't activate? Find her and reveal her. She's already in play. She engages you, and she activates. If no enemy activated this way, she's going to activate no matter what, unless you have some sort of card that stuns an enemy when they come out, which there are cards that do that, I guess. But she would still be activating. She'd just have it canceled, I guess. So she's activating. She attacks me for 2, which is going to hit. After she activates, discard 1 card from the top of the encounter deck. It should say from the top of the encounter deck. The 3 or more icons are in the boost area. Deal yourself an encounter card. There's 1 technically from this, so I do not get that as it. I do not get an encounter card. First player over to Ironheart. So let's increase my hand size by 1. Going to 1, 2, 3, 4 for Brawn. I will then attack with Brawn for 3 on the Luminous. I will deal 2 damage to Luminous. I will remove 2 threat off of a scheme, off of main. I still have this mental resources got for me. I'll place 1 counter here from that. Ronnie will give me an additional counter, and that will end Riri's turn. Actually, she's in this state. She can do 2 resources on a type or the mental. Yeah, I'm just always going to do mental. Why would I do anything else here? Gamora, she kind of needs to flip down, but she's not going to. I'm going to spend 2 on Nebula, because now I have Nebula to chump block for me. She's going to search my deck and discard pile. No, searches my deck only. For an attack and thwart and adds it to my hand. Oh, that's a shame. That was coming up real soon. So this is one. Do I have my another 0 thwart one in here? This is the damage one. I should have. Yeah, this. We're going to then play Set the Pace to remove 1 threat from a scheme. We're going to move it off of the main. And that deals 1 damage to an enemy. So here. I will then spend 1, 2 on Decisive Blow. Because I played a thwart. This is 7 damage. She was at 14. I think I did 8 on accident. That removes 1 threat off of a scheme, so remove it off of main. I will then have Nebula attack the villain. And now Nebula can chump block for me. Oh yeah, I need to shuffle this. I don't think I did. End turn. I'm gonna get rid of Dropkick. Because I don't feel like getting stunned. And get rid of this. Yeah, let's just get a brand new hand here, since this card is gonna make it a pain in the ass to stun enemies. 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more for playing Assess. All right, 1, 2 schemes for 2, and then this whiffs, or 3, excuse me, this whiffs. Attacks, Nebula defends for 1 damage. It literally just barely kills her. By Neb, encounter, encounter. Discard 3 cards. So 1, 2, 3. So all these are guaranteed to have at least 1. Because they're all getting 1 from this. So this whiffs, like the first one whiffs every time, guaranteed. It's never going to discard a card from your hand as long as it's in high evolutionary set. If you put this in with somebody else, then it will have the possibility of doing that. So this has 2 icons, so I take 1 indirect. This has 2 icons, so I take 1 indirect. This has 4 icons, so it just gains surge. So it hit me for 2 damage and surges, which gets a counter here. Guard Villainous, steal the topmost attachment in the encounter discard pile to yourself as a face down counter. He has no additional icons on him. Actually, he does. He has +1 hit point for each icon in his area, so he has 4. But he technically also has 5, because he's getting 1 more from this. So he has another hit point. And then he gets this. So he gets 2 more hit points, because he has 2 more icons on him. When revealed, attach minion activates against me. It has straight up 0 thwart or scheme, so he schemes for nothing. Oh, he has villainous. Fucking sorry. He has +1 scheme. Okay, my bad. So he schemes for 3. I wasn't paying attention to that. But I caught it in time. Discard an upgrader, support I control. This card can suck my fat ass. Every time. I hate that card. It's my least favorite card in Standard. I'd rather get attacked and blitzed by the enemy, because at least I'll end the game faster. Instead, you're just fucking inconveniencing the shit out of me. All right. All right. So that's my internet connection is only at like 2 bars on my computer. What the hell's going on here? All right, Gamora's first player. So Gamora's gonna have to flip down this round. of a cross counter, but I still need to flip down. So let's spend 1 to clear the area for 2, which deals 1 damage. I will then use this and the sword, which is an okay card, but I don't need it right now. Deals 7 damage to an enemy. Now I could finish this phase, but that'd be overkill shit. Let's just kill this guy and his villainous. I need to flip down and heal. So I'm going to flip down and heal. And then I'm going to look at the top card of my deck. If it is an attack or thwart added to my, I can draw it. That's useless to me right now. That is just nothing. Well, I'll use that next round. 2, Riri Williams. So they have options. Ronnie will put a counter on me. Ingenuity will put a counter on me. Also, Braun should have a damage on him. Braun will attack for 3. And now I have a mental resource available to me. I will then heal for 3. Flip. So this mental resource. I still have this mental resource. Let's just clear the area for 2. Let's power on all of us Champions Level Bunker. I'll use Champions Level Bunker to draw 2, then discard 2. I'll get rid of New and Improved as much as I like it. I'll get rid of the Wasp as soon as the game stops lagging. I'll use Assess the Situation to increase my hand. I'll spend 2 on a Photon Beam to deal... This would deal 4, so hold off on the Photon Beam. Let's Photon Blasters to knock him to the next stage. Now, he doesn't actually do anything on his next stage. He just gets stronger. Or he schemes higher is the only thing he's doing differently here. Now, I spend the 2 for the Photon Beam. Actually, it does count as you defeating an enemy if you push it to the next stage, right? Because I would get two counters on that, right? Let me look this up real quick. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yes, defeating a villain stage counts as defeating an enemy. Okay. So then I could have used this to defeat him instead of this, which would give me 2 counters. And then I use this to knock 2 off of his health now. Actually, hold off. I don't do that right now because I have 6 counters on myself. I'm going to spend 6 counters. That'll ready me, push me to state 3, give me a tough status. And now I hit him for 3. I remove 3 threat. Do I want to attack this one? I will... Let's remove 3 threat. Let's keep this as down as possible. And end turn. Get 5 cards here. I now have a 6 card hand size and I assess, so I have a 7 card hand size. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in their hand, right? Yep, 7. Go for champions. Good card. All right. 1, 2. Schemes for 6. Was that 2? And oh my god, yeah. Attacks Ironheart. Brawn will defend for this. It attaches card to a minion, it whiffs. Brawn is defeated because of it being 2 damage. I still have my toughness. Guard Villainous. So this guy comes in with 4 hit points, actually. I think I only did 3 the last time. I think he's supposed to be 4. No, when his when revealed would take effect before this would take effect, wouldn't it? That's actually an interesting thing. What takes effect here first? Because when revealed, he gets 3 boost icons, but he only gives the additional one if they have fewer than 1. So does he have 3 now? Well, actually, no, because it says printed, right? So his printed is 1 or less. So yeah, he should have had more hit points last time. And yeah, he should have. Last time I had one of these, I should have had 1 more hit point on him, which isn't the biggest deal. I think I did literally 3 damage to him, so it would have survived a little longer. I don't think that's the biggest deal, though. Gamora. I'm already an alter ego, so I might as well just exhaust and get this the hell out of here. First player moves over here. So I have a flyover. This from his last word from a scheme. Ooh, I love playing Ironheart. So flyover. Skilled Investigator is good, but do I fucking need it right now? Debatable. Let's actually hold on. Let's spend 2 to actually put Skilled Investigator out. Want a Champion's Bubble Bunker to draw 2 and then discard 2. Skilled Investigator is awesome, but I don't need it. 1. Actually, I think I might discard the 2 cards I just fucking drew. Yeah. 2. We use Sense of Justice to clear the area. To remove 2 off of this. That removes the last threat, so I draw a card. Viv Vision. Look at you. Being awesome. I'm actually tempted to spend all 3 of these to get Moon Girl out and draw 3 cards. No, let's just keep the fun going. Actually, let's keep Flyover in my hand. Let's spend these 2. And Ingenuity for Moon Girl. That draws me 3 cards. Oh. I'm doing that meme where I rub my hands down my face because I love playing Ironheart. All right. Decisions. I can Photon Beam, and Tony Stark's AI is so good. Tony Stark's AI is coming into play right now, actually. Let's spend 2 for Tony Stank. We're going to use Tony Stank to draw me 2, and I discard 1 and get an encounter card. I will discard 1 way or another. I think I do still. If I Photon Beam, I get 2 progress counters. Because it's going to do 4 damage to this poor sap. So, I'm sorry, Assess, as much as I love Assess. Let's Photon Beam this guy. He did. I get 2 counters. I'm going to... Now, I know her obligation is in here, but this is about to reset. So I'm only going to spend 1 to deal 2 damage. Use this to remove 3 threat. Use this to deal 3 damage. I will then remove 3 threat. And then Moon Girl will attack for 2. And end Ironheart's turn. So Gamora's up. Mockingbird's great and all, but We can just do this. The problem is I really don't have cards to play. Like I can flip and concussive blow just to knock the this away because it would stun me, which wouldn't affect me right now. That would stop me from being able to play cross counter. So I'm gonna flip. Let's just put 2 for a Hall of Heroes out. Even though I don't. She's killed like 1 minion. There's not a lot of minions in this. Actually, there are. There are 7 minions, I think. Miniones. I don't know. Let's get the Hall of Heroes out. I'm gonna discard Concussive Blow because I don't want to stun myself. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ironheart's Gucci. Ironheart does not care. 1, 2. Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, I mean I'm not. When this surges, that's it. Oh, boost. Okay, when cards are discarded from the encounter deck. I haven't discarded any cards from the encounter deck. All right. Attacks Ironheart. I've got Moon Girl. That was a lot of damage. That was rude, but that was a lot of damage. Attacks over here onto Gamora. Gamora will take it because I have this in my hand. This is 2 damage, and then this comes into play and does not activate. So 2 damage. Let's Keen Instincts. These are per phase, right? Yep. To take no damage on cross counter. I then deal 1 damage to an enemy. He comes in with 4 hit points, by the way. So I'm going to deal 1 damage to this guy. Remove 1 threat from this. Because it's an attack and thwart, we'll deal 1 damage and remove 1 threat. Encounters. Countercardinos. Acceleration. Touch to High Evolutionary. He's got 2 of them now. I still don't really care. I'm not going to stun or confuse him just for to get backlash. Shadows of the Past! Oh my, it's been a while since I've seen one of this. This is hers right here. This might actually fuck with her a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this has a hazard on it now. And if she's not in play, it gets an acceleration. Well, she has a tough status. After the villain phase ends, she gets a tough status. Wait, does she add more tech in here? That's what this is, right? Yeah, so that actually works well with his deck because he's got stuff that wants tech. Like the topmost tech attaches to some of these minions. Oh my god, Riri is getting. I knew there was a good reason I saved this though. I knew there was a reason. All right, so over here, guard tough, or not guard tough, guard villainous. All right, so I've already got 2 damage on this little punk ass. I can deal 2 damage to an enemy and then clear the area. I mean, everything's here. I mean, we're going to acrobatic move to deal 2 damage to this, which removes 1 threat from a scheme. It's removed from here. I will then Keen Instincts. Oh yeah, I get one of these. Keen Instincts to clear the area to remove 2 threat from a scheme. It removes the last threat from a scheme, so get the draw card. It's a card I can't fucking play. Oh yeah, she has toughness. I would play Spider Girl, but I think I'm fine with Ironheart to draw me a card for no fucking reason. Oh, cool. Ironheart will knock the tough off of Lucia. I will then remove to attack for 2. Remove. I'm going to remove 2. No, because she can just use this to remove all the threat. Let's attack for 2 onto Lucia. All right, so over here, 2 Ironhearts. I haven't even looked at my hand. Not a lot of cards I want in this hand, to be perfectly honest. I guess I can Skilled Investigator. I will draw 2, discard 2. New Improved, good card. And it's useful now. Let's get rid of Sector Scan because I fucking hate it. And I don't really need one way or another. I love the drawing 3 cards, but he is not running a ton of side schemes. All right, so I can do an Improved, which would do all that. I already have a tough status though. I don't want to do this. Let's remove 3 off of this. Gone. Bye. Side scheme defeated. Draw a card. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Look at this guy being all cool and in my hand. I do not have any ways to get more counters on myself though this round. So 4 resources to get Brawn. I will attack Lucia to defeat her. Brawn will attack the villain. 1, 2, 3, and now I have a mental available to me. I will then ingenuity, multitasking, his mental, and this to get or to play this. I mean, so I can do 3. So I get a tough status. I already have one. I ready. I search my deck for a Ironheart card, which is going to be Stroke of Genius because Stroke of Genius is the best around. Oh, yeah, Tony Stanks AI. 1, 2. Nothing I can play. I'll discard Go for Champions. It's an excellent card, but I don't need it. I will then deal 3 damage. I will then deal 2 damage. And end her turn. And I still have toughness. 6, 2, 3, 4. Oh, another sassy situation. Draw 4 cards. 1, 2, 3. Attacks Gamora. I mean, I'm going to take the Havoc approach and kill a teenager here. Let's let Ironheart defend this. All right. So I get the topmost tech card. My discard pile? Do I even have a tech card in my discard pile? Yeah, there's none. It whiffs. Yeah, it's not getting anything. So 1 damage to Ironheart. She barely dies on that. Poor girl. Poor girl. Attacks the other Ironheart. Oh yeah, I know that I shouldn't have played Ironheart, by the way. Whenever I'm playtesting stuff, I don't give a shit about unique, by the way. So ignore it if you were getting upset. Attacks me, I don't care. I got tough. Oh yeah, it had initial damage on it, but it didn't matter. I was going to defeat her anyways. This does so it's not going to pierce. Discard 5 cards from the encounter deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that is a discard, so it actually gets 1 there. Finally, this and this. Hinder 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When defeated, shuffle each evolutionary minion in the encounter deck, discard pile into the. Okay. It surges. We get 1 here. Guard Villainous to the topmost tech. So this comes in with a printed. Let's make sure I do this. Additional icon on the bottom. So it gets 2 from the icons on it. And then another 2 from this. Yeah, that's it. So when this attaches to the minion, it activates against me. So it activates with 1 attack and villainous. I will just take this. I'm at 13 fucking hit points. 1 attack and villainous. And he gets +1 hit point for, yeah, these are already giving him hit points. And this, yeah, I think his hit points are correct. Evolutionaries are kind of pussies. Evolutionarian, whatever he is. Over here, so he's got guard, which means I have to pay attention to him. I don't like paying attention to him. I will fly over to remove threat. I have fly over to remove threat. I'm going to spend 1 and fly over. Or Stroke of Genius, excuse me. To fly over. To remove 3 threat from a scheme. 1, 2, 3. It gets me a counter, and then another one for removing the last threat from a scheme. When I assess situation to get an additional hand size, I remove 2 progress counters to deal 4 damage to this guy. And I'm honestly, I'm hoping I'm doing the math right on this. I think I am, but you never know. I will use this for multitasking to remove 2 and 2. I will Champion's Mobile Bunker to draw 2, discard 2. 2 and that sucks. That actually does suck for that. Draw 2, discard 1. Kind of wish I did that first. Discard this. I'll use this to get another hand size. So that's 2 of them I played. I will then spend. Oh, hold on. An attack for 3. I will attack for 2. I will deal 3. I will remove 2. Or 3, excuse me. And then I will Photon Blast to deal the last bit of damage. So he's dead as shit. Because Riri is strong as fuck when she's all the way up. Alright. So, first thoughts on High Evolutionary. I think it's interesting. I don't mind having to do the extra math as long as I'm doing it right. I think I'm doing it right. For the love of God, I should be doing it right. He should probably have an insert. This is not from here, the evolutionaries. So one thing I did notice when I was setting the board up, I'm going to set evolutionary. I've already distracted myself. I was getting ready to say something, and then I'm balls deep in doing this. The suits, assault, evolutionarian, induced evolution, advancing GTFO, evolve the weapon, evolutionary, bend chaos, induced, bend, evolutionarian, Lucia can fuck off. I can fuck off. Two crisis icons. So off rip, I didn't find them too challenging, which is not a bad thing. There's this kind of unhealthy habit we have as creators where everything we create needs to be difficult, and it needs to be more difficult than last thing. I think that is unhealthy as shit because people will sit here and whine about power creep, and then they will contribute to power creep. He does not feel like an overly difficult enemy. Of course, again, I am playing Ironheart, who is hands down one of the strongest characters in the game. Gamora is pretty fucking strong herself. So we'll see how this goes next time I play her. I don't know if I'm going to stick to only official content in playtesting her, because again, I really do want to play Scarlet Witch just for thematic purposes into High Evolutionary. So I might do like a mix of official and her. Let's start with the very simple one here. Her. The Luminous mod, I think it is cool. I do think that, oh, this is part of the Luminous kit too as well. It wasn't overly difficult to manage. Um, she is kind of dangerous, and she certainly benefits from being in High Evolutionary's set. Alone, if she was like, if you were playing her separate from High Evolutionary, I think she would be a bit weaker. But you would also gain access to forcing discards from your hand, which is one of the most annoying things you can do in the game, is forcing players to discard from their hand. I do like that she has her in Hexbolt, because if you don't know anything about Luminous, she is also a Chaos Witch. Just like Scarlet Witch, she is created by High Evolutionary. She is technically Scarlet Witch's sister. Or question marks on the sister. I think it's the more along the lines of Luminous claims to be her sister, if I remember correctly. I thought about making her as my Nemesis minion for Scarlet Witch, but since I was focusing entirely on the Sorcerer Supreme storyline, didn't feel appropriate. Hexbolt, I like it because it is a treachery version of Hexbolt. Ben Chaos, it um its boost allows for this to get something on it. It's forces Luminous's activation, which means you have to worry about her text on her. I think all in all, her Luminous's stuff is pretty cool. I like it. You're not really, we don't really have to think about much. Now for his kit, again, Tuna will correct me in the comments if I played it wrong. I'm pretty certain that I got all the math correct. Let me clear Gamora's hand out real quick so I don't. Oh my god, I only got rid of one card. Get your fucking hand out of here. So I don't have that on the bottom of my screen anymore. Uh, so I think I did the math right. Tuna will correct me if I did something wrong. Didn't feel overly threatening on standard. Again, that is completely fine. Not everything needs to power creep up. He doesn't need to be difficult. I think aesthetically he looks great. Everything in this set looks amazing. That being said, like maybe next time when I'm not using Riri, at least I don't plan on using Riri. We'll see. We'll see in like a day or two when I play this again. If I just like default into playing Ironheart, because Ironheart's my favorite character off of FFG. We'll see if I don't play Ironheart, if he's got a bit more difficulty, if he's got a bit more bite to him. The minions, I really didn't feel anything for them. I was able to deal with them before they ever got stronger. I didn't feel threatened by them. They feel like a key component, like them and the attachments, and I just didn't feel threatened. Is it 4 evolutionaries, only 2 evolutionary ends, and then you have 7 attachments? So, I mean, these do technically. Okay, here's something I did notice. You have lowest icons here, and fewest here, and fewest here. So that probably needs to get fixed. That's not a difficult fix, though. Attach to the menu with the fewest icons, lowest icons, fewest icons. I think if it was referring to lowest hit points, but it should be fewest icons. But I just, yeah, I didn't really feel threatened by a lot of this. I think it's interesting that you have an upgrade that is giving them +2 attack, an upgrade that's giving them +1/+1, but nothing that's just given him plus thwart. I guess because High Evolutionary is a character who I don't know if he'd want to make his own creation smarter. Like, I know that he pushes for evolution, but he's so full of himself that he tends not to tip the scale in terms of making them smarter. From what I understand, I don't know too much about High Evolutionary, so maybe he just would never give them additional scheme, because why would he give them additional intelligence? He looks down on everything. Um, so what do I think about the cards themselves? Again, both minions were kind of pushovers. He comes into play with technically 4 hit points. I fucked it up the first time. He should come into play with 4, as long as I'm getting the order of operations right. He comes in with 4, and he comes in with 4 plus whatever he's going to get from one of these, because he guarantees you get one of these as long as there's one in the discard pile. Uh, but they're kind of easy to deal with. Unless I fuck something up with the math, they're pretty easy to fucking deal with. The attachments, I don't remember which ones do what exactly. They attaches or activates, and gets a boost, or not a boost, a tough status, excuse me. So did I ever get this on a minion? I don't remember this going on a minion a single time. Actually, I think it did, because didn't I give 3 hit points one time? Did I not take the 1 retaliate from that? I guess not. Another thing I noticed when I was setting up the deck that I'll point out now. I feel that you use a text attach minion is evolutionary and gain and gets +2 icons to save space on your card. When the text should be attach minion gains the evolutionary trait and gets +2 or +3 or +1 icon. Um, so I noticed that. I know that, again, you probably did it to save space on the card, which is, as a creator, I completely fucking understand. But, and this is going to sound harsh, I don't care. It it should be correct. If I were to make that text on my cards, I'd have 5 people bitching at me about how I shorthanded the proper text on there without giving it some sort of like new keyword or something like that. It needs, it should be changed to the proper text. Um, let me double check something real quick. I just want to make sure something for my own, or his table isn't just a tuna, it's tuna. When was the last time this was updated to make sure I had the most recent one? 5/23/26. Excellent. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't have an outdated version. This is the most recent version. Um, so yeah, these should be attached minion gains the evolutionary trait and gets these. And actually, do they get them? Is this a, because you get stats or you get powers? So stats, because minions get +1 attack and +1 scheme. They're all stats. But is this a stat? Would you gain icons or would you get icons? That's that's the question, right? Um, yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that question. Actually, I do know the answer to that question, because we have cards that give additional boost icons. Oh my god, now I don't even remember what those cards say on them. What does Amplify do? Does it give additional icons? Because Amplify would actually have the correct text on its descriptor, I would think. Amplify icon. It adds 1 additional, so it doesn't even do either. It adds icons. What do the cards do when they boost though? Because I don't think they use the term add. Boost. Let's look that up real quick, because I don't want to try and correct it if it's not something that's supposed to be correct. Gets to boost icons. Okay, so yeah, you do get boost icons. All right, so I guess that's fine. Um, no notes on that part though. Still the gains the evolutionary trait. Backlash. Backlash I think Backlash is a good card, but it is extremely easy to work around. I pulled a Gamora deck that was literally called like Stun, was confusingly stunning, undefeated on expert. Um, and so I was like, I have cards in my deck that are going to confuse and stun. I'm just not going to play them on the villain. Um, it's pretty simple to just work around. Even if I was playing like my new character M, um, or specifically Monet, because M is just one form of hers, of her three. If I was playing Monet, when I would ever, I would just stay penance the entire time and just get extra damage because the M version of her is the one that does like all the stuns and confuses and stuff. Um, Legions of Evolutionaries. Shuffle each evolutionary minion and the yeah. I didn't get this until very late, and by the time it was out, it didn't fucking matter because I was just in a position to defeat the minion. I don't. Did I actually defeat it before I removed all the threat from the main scheme? I might not have. At that point, again, it really didn't fucking matter if I did this before removing threat from the main scheme. It was just like a logistical thing for me to not pay attention to that like an idiot. I also didn't notice it was assault, uh, which I think I removed threat from it like a normal human being. On all first impressions, he was easy, which is fine. I'm fine with enemies being easy. Um, I'm pretty sure I played everything correctly, except for the first time I did the regular evolutionary when I accidentally didn't account for him should having. I think he should start with 4 hit points if I'm picking up on it correctly. I don't know. I think he's good. I think he's fine. I don't see any issues with the artwork. Visually, it all looks great. Um, Theme, from what I understand about High Evolutionary, it seems good. Uh, Materials, I would include an insert in this to teach people how to play against him to prevent any confusion like I kind of had playing him. Other than that, I mean, everything else is here. Um, what else? Uh, fucking mechanics. Mechanically, I think he works fine. Again, the text needs to be fixed on his 3 attachments so it gains them. Um, I have zero issues with his mechanics otherwise. Um, Balance is next. He is extremely easy. Again, nothing wrong with that. It is fine to. I don't know if he's meant to be extremely difficult. If he's meant to be difficult, then I fuck something up in a way that I could not imagine. Um, and I don't know where that would be. Um, and then fun factor. I personally didn't mind him. Um, I caught a little bit of Havoc stream. I think there was like some. I don't know if I wouldn't call it a complaint as much as like notes on having to do math on an enemy. It wasn't all that fun. I don't mind. I'm good at math. as long as as long as I did the order of operations and everything correctly, I think I got everything correct though. Um, yeah, those are my thoughts on High Evolutionary. I might actually play another game, probably not against High Evolutionary though. Just so I can make sure again put it out in the community, get Tuna's feedback on it if I mess anything up, which I hope I didn't. I'll probably play another game though after this. Maybe Omen, maybe Ghost Rider, um, and somebody else. But before then, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So actually, you know what? Let me end this video real quick. So hey, you guys know I go to the bathroom after this. So that's gonna end this recording. So if yeah, let's do the regular outro. Shit. Have a good morning slash night slash day wherever you may be. Stay safe out there because the world is a dangerous place. Uh, if you want to check out more custom content like Tuna's Evolutionary or hell, Tuna's Diva, Tuna's Baptiste, Who else have I played by Tuna? Was Spot Tunas? I can't remember. Um, no, actually, I don't think Spot. I don't remember who made Spot. I was miserable playing Spot. I hope it wasn't Tunas. Uh, or any of my content. I mentioned Havoc earlier. I mentioned Neptune. I mentioned Corey, aka CJF. They all have content on our Discord server, which I'll have a link for in the description of this video. If you want to check out my live streams, you can check me out at twitch.tv/theactualjackson. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel out. And yeah, that's where I'll end this part of the recording. So take it easy. Ciao.